must make up for whatever time is lost. Uh, After listening to all the distinguished speakers since morning, I just feel there's not much for me to talk about. So let me just focus on few small things, a little bit background, and what we have done in the mapping area. Historically, for the last 20 years, I'm involved in this industry. MapmyIndia has been digitizing maps to create a world-class map for India. During this whole process, what we observed, every user has been trying to do some planning. To do a better planning, they required maps, some software tools, or maps, be it digital or print. I'm talking about even mid-90s, early 90s, late 90s. That's how the work was done by the users. Moving on to the decade of 2000, the web technology came in place. That started changing the paradigm. With the web technology, for the first time, we could see that the GIS engine and the map data could get integrated nicely in a web platform, and the users could use it to their advantage. A lot of work happened in the early 2000s when organizations like MapQuest, Yahoo, followed by MapmyIndia in 2004, followed by Google, which brought out the web portals. These portals created a lot of stir in the industry, showing the way what can be done. And then the imagination could only become the limiting factor. While all this was happening, the consumer space really got a lot of help and a lot of apps, be it on desktop, be it on the web or devices. And the business world, the government world couldn't take full advantage out of it because of the lack of, what I say, a very scalable and robust platform. There is a paradigm shift. Today, when I think of platform, and I'm sharing with you what I have understood in the last 20 years. Today, when I think of a platform, I just don't think of a GIS engine. I think of a GIS engine along with the content, at least the base map content. When the two are together, then the users can really, truly build any kind of an app. When I say app, I don't just mean a mobile app, because the apps are now more related to mobile, but app is a generic word. So, so the users can go ahead and prepare and build their own apps, and even some specialized content on top of that if a platform is readily available. Today I feel very happy, extremely happy, that Esri India and MapmyIndia have partnered together to jointly provide you with that platform. I wish the platform was live today, but as I understand, it will be live tomorrow. So it's just a one-day delay, and I'm sure you will all get an opportunity to see what that ArcGIS Online does. Now, ArcGIS Online, while being a public platform, is not limited to that, it doesn't have that limitation. While on one side the public platform is available, on the other side, the ArcGIS and MapmyIndia data are integrated and going to be made available both in the private cloud, or what you call it also in-premises platform, as well as in a client-server environment. Now, what's so different about a map data? A map data, once it's productized, it's almost like any other software. We are all used to having a software releases, a version releases, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, or something like that. In the map data product, at least in India, people are not used to knowing that map data also requires a version releases more frequently. Rather, today, the expectations are, why can't it be every day? But every day is one part of it, but at least If the products are released frequently, then that's the real product. Productizing map is not a small thing. Historically, we have seen how Survey of India used to release their print maps so nicely and kept updating it, and that's what was a product. After that, at least in my knowledge, I have not seen a map data as a product being available with frequent product releases. What MapmyIndia has done from a period of 2000, let me see if I can pull the slide. Pull the slide. So from this slide, you can very easily see that there is a history of the product version. 1994 is the time when we started digitally mapping India. From 1994 to year 2007, a clear 13 long years, we call it as a product development phase. It didn't take 1 year. Technology was also not available what is available today. But since year 2007, continuously, year after year, the version releases have been happening every year. 2 releases, 3 releases, or even 4 releases. What does this product release mean? It simply means the maps are live. It has not collected dust. You do not update your maps frequently and I can guarantee the maps will be of no use. The maps might be accurate at the time it was made, but today the utility of that map goes away. And hence the need that a productized map, a product in the form of the product is critical to the success for the users to build their own applications to satisfy their needs. Keeping this in mind, how did we achieve it? It didn't come by magic. Lots of standardization had to happen. We got a lot of support from one industry, I must name it, which supported to make sure that these maps follow very rigorous standards. You know how rigorous automotive industry is in terms of building its product. Every car that is built follows very rigorous processes. The automotive industry really made sure that the MapmyIndia maps become one which is world class, because when it is organized, companies like BMW, Mercedes, you keep Toyota, all of them who embrace MapmyIndia maps, in spite of the world known giants, we could learn from them not just topological error, but all other standards that's required to build a good quality map. Having achieved that from the automotive industry, made sure that the maps are of that quality. Now, thanks to Esri US and thanks to Esri India, that we have been able to partner with them to provide this integrated platform. And this platform, I certainly believe, can go a long way to help support not only the private corporate world, but also the businesses. While I commend the efforts of the Government of India to roll out national GIS, fortunately I was a member of that committee last year. I hope, and this is my sincere hope, that instead of building the national GIS maps from scratch, let them take advantage of what has been built and keep adding on top of that, rather than lose out the advantages that has been the time that has been spent over the last 15 years. Thinking of the usage, I have heard many times Dr. Pitroda talking about that there are 2 items which are very critical in good e-governance. One of them is people identity, which is in the form of Aadhaar. The second one he talks about is location identity, which is in terms of what we call GIS. Once these two items are available, what he always says is the e-governance can become very transparent. Now, the second part, the platform is now being made available. Every user can definitely take full advantage of that, and from there, they can move on and focus more on the applications, the customized maps, which may be required for their own. At the same time, the content sharing that we always hear, that one department doesn't want to share with another department, that problem also goes away because every department can keep their own data and use this platform to and share the same maps with each other. Finally, I would also like to talk about one of the questions that I have been always asked, how good and how accurate these maps are. It's very difficult to answer those questions. All that I can talk about is these maps are proven on the ground because it is being used nationwide by at least automotive drivers. If they can reach their destination, because the maps do not just have to show a building footprint, a map may also require what's the entry point for this hotel. A satellite imagery might just give you that. Where is it? What is the shape of that footprint? But where is the entry point can be another big factor. So you cannot avoid the ground field survey. So preparing a map which helps you get the right direction and navigate to the point also will help you with all other requirements that a GIS requires. Now remember, using these portals or a platform, there 4 areas become key. One of them is what we call map display. How is the map displayed is the power of the GIS engine. And nothing can be better than an ArcGIS engine. I think everybody knows about that. There are 3 other things that's very critical. One is what we call as directions. Directions can be good only if the attributes associated with the road database is good. The third thing, very important, is what is called geocoding. A geocoding is based on address database. Preparing a high quality address database for India, where we know that I will call my address in some way, you will call your address in another way. This address database is another very key factor in finding a place. Address database doesn't mean only points of interest. Address database is also the home addresses, including to the address of a rural area. The fourth important element that people have to look at is what is called reverse geocoding. A reverse geocoding, unless and until you have a very rich content, a very precise high level of accuracy in terms of locations, you will never get a very high quality reverse geocoding. So knowing the lat long and knowing based on that the address is what I call it as reverse geocoding. So with this, I would like to end my presentation or talk, and probably this will help you with the lunch. I don't know, whatever it is next. Thanks a lot.